mind racing is not only happening when you are hitting the pillow. Mind racing is happening pretty much all the time. You're just distracting yourself away from it. You're not paying attention to it. And so, what's really important is that you are not just trying to stop mind racing at night. You're actually trying to help your mind to get out of this race during the day. And there are three reasons why your mind may be racing. One is that you may have just too much on your plate, and that, since the mind, especially, the subconscious, gets really nervous when we are having to juggle more than 6 or 7 different items. So the easiest thing to do is just to write things down, not just in a to-do list, but really in a map, in a mind map, where you would say, like, okay, here is the problem or my goal or my agenda that I was spinning around. This is where I want to be on the opposite side. And now, what are the steps in between? And you just draw this on a piece of paper, and you literally have an arrow from one to the next, and then all these steps in between, maybe even with sub steps or dates when you want to do it. Sometimes you may have just to also take things off your plate and say, okay, I'm too ambitious. And second reason for the mind racing can be that your mind is just too stimulated. And we are all guilty of that. We all really treat our mind just like, as a container that can be filled uh, endlessly. One of those magical Hogwarts things that you can just put more and more in and never really have to worry about that it gets cramped. Well, the mind gets also cluttered, and there may be too much stuff in there. And unfortunately, what we do when we feel already a little on the edge, or that our mind is a little nervous, that we are distracting ourselves. We go to social media, we are worrying a little bit about the fear of missing out something over there, or we are watching some TV that again stimulates us, or the internet, or whatever it is. We are not emptying the already full mind. We are actually just filling it up more. And to do that, to empty your mind, you have to be comfortable with nothing. I mean, nothing seems scary for many, and that has to do also with this not wanting to be present with self, but just sitting and maybe having just nature sounds on, or very, very calming music, and maybe just looking at the wall or at a plant or out of the window, and not getting into this overdrive of stimulation. And the third reason for mind racing is negative thinking. And negative thinking can be about yourself, where you're very judgmental, but it can be also this worrying and this what if thinking. It's really about this idea that when the mind is giving you a negative thought, rather than batting it away, or maybe ignoring it, or buying into it, try to understand that this negative thought is like a question from the subconscious trying to get an answer. The am I gonna be okay? Or whatever those worry questions were that may have been racing in your mind. Well, who is answering them? That is always a question. Are you actually saying, well, maybe I should make a decision and give an answer, and make that mind feel better? Well, usually we don't do this. We only see the questions just like from this childlike perspective. Oh yeah, you're right, that's scary. And oh, whoa, I haven't thought about that, but that doesn't sound good. Step into the adult pants and really imagine that there is a little part inside of you that just wants someone to get answers from. And the answers may not necessarily, be something that's in your control, but you can always say, even if this would happen, we're still going to find a way to deal with this. We always have been okay. And just this calming, compassionate voice. I tell you, since I have been teaching this to my clients, usually within 1 or 2 weeks, when you just do this a few times a day, calmly redirecting, reassuring, a little anxious voice, imagining it's a question, you give the answer, you're going to have 70 to 80% less mind racing within that short amount of time. So try it out. It's really wonderful to start communicating with your anxiety and not just trying to run away from it.